be right in the end. Yes, it will, my friend. My friend, it'll all be right in the end. My friend, it'll all be right in the end. My friend. My friend, it'll all be right in the end. My friend, it'll all be right in the end. It's Sunday. It's Mark Pires.
I was walking down the road
And
today, looking for
it's the longest running show on planet Earth. 1,441 days in a row. Just creating a magical moment, if you will. And I hope you had a fantastic weekend. And we're back again, 1,441 in a row. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe, share, leave a comment after we finish up tonight. And we're going to have a conversation, then we're going to play a song. And, you know, we kind of touched on this yesterday, and I just want to quickly run through it before we play a piece of music. And before we do that, I do want to say hi to everybody in the chat. So, William, my friend, S-Coop, Trish Killian, S-Coop again, Wharton Fissel kicking it with me from the top. And you know that's always a good thing when you got a Wharton Fissel deal going down, you know? Ooh, I'm glad that didn't start up yet because I would have had some audio issues. I do see Barella kicking it as well. That's always a good thing from the top. So guys, as we discussed yesterday, and it was again brief, but I do want to go over this. I'm starting to believe that this entire existence of ours is some game between God and the devil. I know it's what we heard when we were kids, and, you know, we all have these different religions, these faiths. But at the end of it, what it all comes down to is a couple of core elements like love, kindness, and giving people the benefit of the doubt, and also not holding grudges. I think that's the biggest one. We have to find a way to allow things to roll off our shoulders. I think I heard Mike Tyson say something interesting once. He said, when you hold a grudge in someone else, they win because they're living in your mind rent-free. They don't even realize it. So you got to leave everything in the past and try to live in the moment as often as possible. But even then, I started thinking, it's impossible for everybody to drop all of their concern and somehow lives totally at this level where they're like, yep, I've done it all and I'm good, because you don't know when your time comes. And you could have done everything right and then something wrong, and then your time comes. And then what does that mean? So we don't understand any of it. But what I do believe is this is a game. And I do believe we have to find a way to not hold grudges and not hate. And doesn't it seem like everything in the society we live in today is intentional division and hatred? So, what does that mean? It may mean that anybody who falls in and plays along and winds up going down that path can't find a way to salvation, can't find a way to heaven one day, and all of a sudden the devil wins the soul that he's been pining for, your soul. And I don't want to be that soul. I don't want to be on the other end of that. So I'm pretty certain the devil not only runs hell, but he runs earth. And that's why everything's so messed up. Matt Zabrowski, can you give us a woohoo, please? Try to lift us up a level.
Woohoo!
I missed it on the point. If the devil runs hell, the devil runs earth, what is God? God is the creator of everything. But he doesn't control what happens here on earth. The devil does. And so that's why you hear about all these crazy artists that are selling their soul in order to find success, in order to be famous. And why I don't understand this whole concept of having to do that in order to find your greatness. I don't get it. We've been here for a half decade live every day. We write music every single night. We create comedy in the moment without thinking about it. I didn't ever have to think about doing anything like, hey, can you give me an edge? Can I do this? Can I get this fame from you, buddy? No, I have no interest in acquiring something from the devil. What I'd like to do is I'd like to get people to realize that he's real and Yeshua's real. And we need to start calling him by his real name. This is something that needs to start happening because his real name is in the New Testament over 700 times. And I think it was in 383 AD, they just changed his name. Oh no, we're not going to use his name anymore. We're going to call him Jesus. And look, same person, but a name matters. In the Bible, it says, my name has power. And he also says, you don't know me. If you knew me, you'd know my name. So, are we all here being, again, duped by the devil to call him something that he's not? Jesus. It's a made-up name. Yeshua. His real name is Yeshua. It's not easy to say, but it sounds more powerful to me than Jesus. Yeshua. And that's his real name. And his name has power. And if you knew me, you'd know my name. Another thing I kind of came across was watching somebody else who was going over this. I think it's Brad Lee, his name is really interesting, inspirational speaker. And he just happened to mention this. I'd talk about this before, but I didn't get into the detail. He mentioned the 383 AD, and he also mentioned that, the 10 Commandments mention, thou shalt not use the Lord's name in vain. He said, everybody thinks that means, GD and all that stuff. And he goes, that's, God's not even really his name. That's just what name we made up, first of all. And that's true. But he said, using the word vain means to make a name, make something meaningless, worthless. So what's more worthless than not using his name ever? His real name. And he tied up what I've kind of thought too. You can't go and just, what if one day he comes down, right? He's coming down, he's here. And all of a sudden he's like, all right, I'm looking for my people. And everybody's like, Jesus. And he's like, who's this you're talking about? My name is Yeshua. Oh no, but you're on high and you're there watching over your telescope and seeing the earth. And he was here, 2,000 plus years ago. If he comes back again, he's coming back with the same information he had when he left. He's not sitting there and he's in human form. And all of a sudden, I just think that a name is important. And I know everybody says it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And maybe it doesn't. Maybe this is just silliness. But I do think the devil's after our souls. I'm guaranteeing it. I am certain of it now. That story is just really, I can't get rid of it now. That story of the guy who says he went to hell. And when he said, I forgot to leave a piece out. I didn't mean to, but he said that human that was on all fours and being held by the demon on a leash was charred from his feet to his head, just completely black, just charred from being tortured. And his eyes were bulging so far out of his head, he said he couldn't even look at him. It was just disgusting. And he's like, and he realized that guy was ridden his entire life by that demon on earth. And now here in hell, he's the demon's slave. And that freaking scared the hell out of me. I'm like, geez, all of this stuff is we don't even understand the gravity of it. We don't understand the gravity of all of our actions. And we're out here potentially hating each other and dividing. And I've said for so long that we have to come together, that this is about coming together. It's not about dividing. Dividing is how they win. Dividing is how the devil wins. Because again, if we're hating each other, then he gets our soul. It's so funny. We're here and we're having all these earthly, concerns and hatred towards each other for these silly little issues that we come across. And it could be a major issue, but nothing is more major than your soul. And so I think about it. It's like we could sit there and we can throw daggers, or we could say, you know what, we have to have really important conversations where we get answers and we're not ridiculed for asking questions. But we do need to just have open conversation, because at the end of time, if it really is true, if this clip I saw about this guy who says he was sucked into the middle of the earth to hell when his heart stopped, and he met Yeshua, and he asked why I didn't go to heaven. And he says, because you had hate in your heart for some. You didn't listen to my words. You have to leave all the hate behind. And so, like I said, we need to find a way to understand as a complete society that this is the devil's game to get our soul. Oh, the devil's not real. God's not real. Okay, who made that Rolex? Just freaking showed up, huh? There's always a creator of something, and there's always the opposite. Good and evil. It's like 2022, it's positivity and negativity, but it's the same exact thing. And what I'm finding is that we're really, really falling into this trap of hatred. And it's like, I get it. It's easy, right? I can just type really quick and I'm a telephone tough guy, this guy. But doesn't it feel like crap when you got that freaking pit in your stomach because you're going at somebody and you're having... I mean, what? There's something amazing about lifting somebody up. There's something amazing about filling your heart and soul with that burning desire to do more. And so, like I said, please just start to be aware of what is being brought into your life on a daily basis. Because you don't want to be in arguments with people. We don't know when it ends, when our heart stops beating. You don't want to face, I don't know if it's Yeshua, if you're going to face, St. Peter, whatever it is, but you don't want to face him with hate in your heart. And so I come out here every day to play some music and to let it all out. Because I feel amazing when it's all over every day. I could have the greatest or the worst day. And after I come out here with you guys and we play some music, we have some fun, we do some comedy, it's all better. So do something that gets you back to that. Something that can benefit those around you. Because it's not just about that, but that's a big part of it. We got to find a way to stay level and to drop the hatred, keep that away from our soul. I mean, that is how that's how the devil wins. I want to keep my soul, and I want to stand there in the glory of God with God. I know it's a made up word, but I don't have any interest in being down there as a freaking slave dog. Sorry. Can we tune this thing? We're sitting here in 33 degrees outside, which means it's not that much warmer here in the barn. Let's see what we got here. All right, we got to put the beat seat on for you guys. The first drum for guitarists, beatseat.rocks. You can order one. You won't be able to get it by Christmas, but put an order in and I will build it for you when I have the time. Let's see. Right now I have one, but it's spoken for, unfortunately. So, and it's a beaut. Oh my goodness. Not as gorgeous as the one I'm sitting on, which is teak with a flame maple snare. All right. Get a little bass in there. That's how you do it. Oh yeah, you gotta get it going. Yeah, yeah. We need a little beat seat going on this one. The first drum for guitar players. Keep it simple, dude. That's how you do it. Oh, I'll tie my friend from Vigo's in the house. Our time is now. Thank you so much, my friend, for your donation. I appreciate you. Let's get a little something going over here. Friggin' broke the string. Apparently this stupid freaking phone is asking about email addresses while I'm live. Oh, Sunday night, breaking strings early on in the song. Gonna try to do something never done before. Change the string in the middle of the song. Yeah, 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 yeah. We're talking about the devil come for souls. Some people think they need him, but you don't. You could do it on your own, yeah. It's called put your time in, yeah. Work your tail off, yeah. Don't take no for an answer. Don't give up, never know. You don't ever wanna give up, no. Devil come, try to tempt you, yeah. Holding his hand out, $1 million, it's glaring up the sun, yeah. The sunlight, yeah. Wondering, do I need it then? He's got a smile on his face, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell him you go scram, yeah. I'm gonna do it on my own, man. Oh, he just doubles down, takes out another case, yeah. Puts it in my face, yeah, yeah. Oh, I start looking at the case, yeah. She starts saying it'll be a blast, yeah. And I say, you know what? It ain't right for me, no. Yeah. I got the string on my guitar. Devil say, how about I play you for it? I said, can you elaborate? Oh, of course, my friggin' screen stopped working again. But we're back on. There we go. Ooh, did that really just happen in real time, Joanne? I doing it. Nope. Let's just do a quick tuneroo because we're here now and we got it on. Do that. I told the devil grab his guitar out of the trunk, yeah, let's get going. I'm getting tired, I wanna go. I got no more time for you. She said, yeah, I'm coming right back. You better warm up them hands. We're gonna get down, yeah. Devil take out $1 million axe, yeah, emblazoned in gold, shining up. They can't even look directly at it, yeah. Start to shake in my boots. guitar sound like something unusual going down. He lifts his head up and he says to me, "What you got, kid?" Not bad. But you're playing with the devil. Okay, all right. I see what you're doing there, Mr. Devil. What are you gonna do with that, huh? Was that, man? You changed the freaking tempo and knocked the loop out of... You just knocked the loop out as well? You heard that? Freaking devil. You're the worst. You know, nobody even likes you. Nobody wants to hang out with you. They're all like, it's the freaking devil again? He's the worst. I'm like, I know. I get it. Make me tune the freaking guitar again, devil. That's how crappy you are. You know, that's what you played? Whatever. What do you got, devil? What do you do with that one, huh? You know, you got something for that? The devil just lost. I'm sorry, you couldn't handle it. You know, when you're out there doing it, right? And the devil's like, I'll give you more powers. You're like, F you. I'm doing it with you. Got Yeshua here, hanging with me, doing it Yeshua style. Yeshua came down, and he's doing it now. You know, when he's doing it. We actually have a proper, it's called the Duel with the Devil. So I think it's like, I think it's an album number 1 or 2 from, you know, when we dropped a bunch of albums in a row. I got the Yeshua Blues. I like that. Wow, guys, you come down Yeshua Blues. Hanging out, of course. broke the friggin' hell out of that string. I changed the string while we're live. All right, very quickly here, guys. It is Sunday night. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. Remember, tomorrow we'll be back. And try to see if you can release all of your anger and any grudges you may have. Just try to find a way to look through it and see if there's a way you can put it behind you. I'm starting to do it and look at things that I've always been like pissed about, and I'm trying to see if I could get that out of my life, you know, and see if we can just build with the positivity we do here, and then outside continue that soul fulfillment. Explosion change the how and why I feel. She shook my world, she showed me love was real. The meteor is the surface of my world. Surface of my world. Explosion changed the how and why I feel. She shook my world, she showed me love was real. In the surface of my world. I can't. It's like all right, so we're gonna play this again, but this is a song I wrote. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited I'm playing this. Let me tell you why. So, I wrote this song. I was on the way to my office, my old office, and I looked out the window, and my daughter was just about to be born. And I looked out the window and I saw this sunset over the church, actually, of all places. This is amazing. We're talking about Yeshua. Over the church, I saw this sunset across the skyline, which if I could continue seeing, that's where New York City is. And I'm looking and I see every single color you could ever think of in the spectrum. It's there, right over the, the trees and over the building, which is the church. And I remember thinking a meteor hit the surface of my world. And I was realizing in that moment that my daughter, I was about to have a child, and a meteor hits the surface of your world. Everything changes in that moment, And so I'm about to have a child for the first, I think for the second time, but this, every time you have a child, it's a meteor changing the surface of your world. So I hope you enjoy it. And by the way, it's actually my daughter's birthday today. And of all my songs I did write, and I wrote about 130 before we started improvising and live songwriting here, I thought of playing this one tonight on her birthday. The song I wrote on her birthday. my world, showed me love was meteor in the surface of my world. In a lifetime of waiting for this moment, yeah, I've been waiting for this lifetime for you. It's a moment that I never felt before, and this time it's more than just a dream. Yeah. Now I got it, I'm not letting it go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Meteor hit the surface of my world. Explosion changed the why and how I feel. You shook my world, showed me love was real. A meteor in the surface of my world. Surface of my world. Explosion changed the why and how I feel. You shook my world, showed me love was real. Surface of my world. Meteor hit the surface of my world. Explosion changed the why and how I feel. Yes, shook my world, showed me love was real. Yes, a meteor in the surface of the world. Meteor in the surface of my world. Explosion changed the why and how I feel. She shook my world, she showed me love was real. A meteor in the surface of my world. Surface of my world. Explosion changed the why and how I feel. Shook my world, showed me love was real. A meteor in the surface Explosion changed the why and how I feel. Shook my world, showed me love was real. A meteor in the surface of my world. Surface of my world. Explosion changed why and how I feel. How I feel. Shook my world. She showed me love was real. So real. So surface of my world. Oh, oh, oh. Meteor hit the surface of my world. Yeah, yeah. Explode hit the surface of my world. Explosion changed the how and why I feel. She shook my world. She showed me love was real. Yes, real. So real. Meteor, the surface of my world. You better not fall. You know what? My guitar stand is not sitting properly, that's why. And my shoe is over there.
Get my shoes and glasses. So I got them. I want to make sure I have my shoes and glasses. It's Sid Rosenbaum. I got my shoes and glasses. So I have them.
Bex is in the house, guys! I got a shoe going on. So that's a song called Meteor. Just Meteor hit the surface of my world. Explosion changed the why and how I feel. Wow. Still in all, I wrote that song now. 13 years. Guys, time is just completely out of control. And you can't slow it down. It's just blowing by. This has been a half decade. In 20 days, we'll have been live for 1.5 decades. That's 5 years in a row, every day. It's insane. And so, make the most of it. Create something, do something, but most importantly, try to keep a clear conscience and lift some people up. You gotta lift people up. So tomorrow, do it all over again. Until then, Let me get over here, and Sue's kicking it with us. I see Anna Trejos. You rocked, and I saw your message today about making Christmas cookies. Good on you. You could send some to the show. Just kidding. They'll probably get eaten on the way by mice. You know the mice are all over the UPS and USPS, right? They're everywhere. So just be careful. Don't send any actual food in the mail. Just a little heads up. Bex Rock, my friend. So good to see Bex. Kill it and grill it. Pamela Swan, S. Coop, Stacy Michaels, you rock. Trish Killian, William Martin, Barella kicking it here with us. Awesome. I appreciate you guys. And Wharton Fissel. I love it when you guys come in here at the end to say goodnight. Uh-oh, we got another one. Hold on. I'm rolling through to see who it was. Bradley Smith. You know Bradley comes in. We're not going to miss Bradley. Anybody else who's come on, say goodnight now or forever hold your peace. Remember, just keep a smile on your face. Do right by those around you if you can, and try to see if you can keep that conscience clear. Don't get into arguments with people, especially online and social media. Just run from it. Just decide, even if you're not in the wrong, run from it. You do not want to get into that scenario where you're going down the path of fighting with people who have no interest in actually coming to a conversation point. They just want to fight. They just want to take you and destroy you. And that's a sad thing in 2022 where people will not allow you to speak your mind freely. They have to jump on board and somehow try to get you, down. And I think that that's crap. I'd rather just create different content. And that's actually what I've been doing. So that's what I'm going to keep doing. Anyway, the content's just what we've been doing here for a half decade. Writing songs live in the moment, creating comedy, and then lifting people up into the light. So that's all the stuff I'm going to be dropping. So I appreciate you guys. Remember, I'll still be doing the news too, but this is going to be dropping a lot of the stuff from the show that's been live for a half decade. And Satan is after our souls. He wants us to hate and divide. So what do we do instead? Come together. F him. We don't want to go down the path of having hatred towards each other. And I guess you can't have hatred towards him either, because then you're going to also fall on the same path. So I don't mind you, dude. Do you? You do you. I'm here doing the show. Joanne's back there wheezing. What's that, Joanne? Joanne says she thinks she's going to be there. Joanne, I don't think so. You're good. You're good. And you're a nice lady. Ish. Anyway, guys, I like Joanne sometimes. Trish Killian, but not all the time. She wheezes. I can't deal with a wheezer, I'm doing it, successfully. I think I've been sort of doing okay with it. S-Coop came out of nowhere with a right hook, and Pamela Swan. And, when you're doing it and those things happen, it's a good day. So, fam and friends, tomorrow we'll be back, hopefully earlier. Until then. It's Mark Pires.
You got to go away.
And it's the longest show on earth, so subscribe, share, leave a comment after the show. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys. You got to go away. You got to go away. Yeah. See you tomorrow. Have a great night. You got to go